Hey, Geekscapists, welcome to a brand new Geekscape podcast. I'm Jonathan London, your host. And if this is your first Geekscape, well, you've really chosen an awesome one to be a part of. This is our first live show that we're doing simultaneously across Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and, oh yeah, Periscope. I signed up for Periscope today just to bring you guys a podcast. Anyway, during this pandemic, I've been feeling a little bit creatively stifled. And then if you guys are Geekscape subscribers, you know that I had my friend Chris Gore on the show last week, and we started talking about how these online conventions are happening. A lot of these online comic conventions are happening just like this, over things like, we got Zoom, we've got this one, StreamYard, Twitch, and what they're doing is they're making panels that people can watch by just inviting people in. And I've got some people invited in tonight that are going to be Geekscape regulars, but you're going to be able to talk to them. If you guys have a chat room going, wherever you guys are watching, here we go. Check out this comment I already got from my good friend George Callert. He says, "Hey, nice shirt." He's watching on YouTube. Wherever you guys are watching, you guys can throw some comments down and I'll read them right here on the air. Nice shirt. Thank you, George. It is a nice shirt. What do you think? It's a nice design by my good friend Ty Hudgens. It's an old school Zapper, Nintendo Zapper, and these shirts are available in the Geekscape store. So there's my plug. How are you guys holding up? Feel free to throw those comments down if you want. It's a crazy time. Geekscape has been asking me to do a live video show again, or a video show of any type, for years. Honestly, years. We've been doing the podcast for 13. It started out as a show that we did on my ex-wife Laura's couch back when she was my girlfriend, and now I think it's appropriate that I'm now starting the live version of the show that's multi-streaming from Heidi's bedroom, my girlfriend's bedroom. So I think that's what it takes. I think it takes a girlfriend's place to start a podcast up in a new way. And maybe that's like the creative juices flowing. Don't go too far with that, okay? Those are the only juices flowing right now. And during the pandemic, I'm quarantined here with Heidi, and we're streaming from her bedroom. I think we should have Heidi on the show real quick. She happens to be right here. She's on her bed, just chilling, and yeah, we're hanging out. Do you want to talk to them? I can't. You can't hear them because I've got the headphones. But why don't you say hello, Heidi? First off, I just want to say welcome to the show. This studio, thank you for providing us with the studio space.
How about
here?
Your chair? Do you like
check this
chair?
out. This was my Valentine's Day present from Heidi. Here we go. Let me show you guys what I'm sitting in. You can't really see it, but it is a director's chair. It is a Geekscape director's chair. And that, my friends, was my Valentine's Day present from
you made it.
Heidi.
I didn't make the chair.
She didn't stitch it. She actually learned how to stitch to make masks for COVID-19. Oh, how appropriate. She the show's just started and she's already putting a jester hat on me. So, hello. I will be a fool today.
Because we missed the Renaissance Fair. You were going to wear that this year, but no Ren Fair. Oh, well.
Yeah, so no Ren Fair this year. It's usually Heidi's birthday, it's the Ren Fair. So, here we
guys,
go.
have a good show.
Heidi's now going to go make dinner.
Not yet, in a minute.
Well, I thought you were going to have some response to how chauvinistic that was. And I was like, now you're going to go make dinner.
Well, I can't hear anything that anyone else is saying.
Nobody's saying anything. There's nobody in the show. This is me just talking to myself like it is usually. Don't yell at me, please. I'm simulcasting a live podcast. This is very stressful. I couldn't sleep last night because I was so excited about doing a show. And now you're ruining it. Just kidding. You guys are great. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing all right? We got some comments coming in, but just want to remind you guys that this is our first simulcasted show. And there's going to be a lot more unless I completely F this up, which not outside the realm of possibility. I don't like doing the show by myself. As you guys know, when I regularly do Geekscape, I have guests. And Geekscape is nothing if not a family. So I'm going to invite some family members from Geekscape onto the show. Who better than my two good friends who help me run Geekscape? Here they come. Matt Kelly, who runs our podcast network. Here he is. Hey, Matt, how are you?
Hey, everyone in the comments, come on, be like, yeah, Team Matt.
Oh, is this a thing? We're gonna start like
let's
a competitive. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I mean, we can. I can just mute
Hashtag
you
Matt
or like
attack.
bounce you. I don't know what you want to do, but maybe okay. And then in Vancouver, Canada, we got ourselves a little Derek Cranov out there.
Hello.
Hey, Matt. Hey, how are you guys doing? Welcome to the show.
It is so good to see
what do
both of you.
think? Do you like my studio? You like my luxurious studio space here?
I mean, my favorite part is it's been more than 4 minutes and we haven't had to restart the call yet. So this is great. This is really great. And it's great to see you guys. It's I don't know. I feel like we all chatted fairly recently for the one of the last episodes of the podcast, but it's totally different being able to look at you because you're the only people I've seen aside from Michaela for weeks at this point. So
yeah, how's it going there? Michaela is a nurse, so she's probably like right in the thick of it.
She is, yeah. It's interesting because I looking at Canada as a whole, I feel like British Columbia has actually done a fairly decent job at the whole social distancing and the flattening of the curve. Like our numbers are not shooting up drastically. So she's in an interesting spot because she like nobody's going to the hospital for other things at this point. The emergency room is unless there's a true emergency, like people aren't going in for the stub toes and the sore throats and stuff that they typically go in for.
Just
so
living with it, or is that stuff not happening?
Maybe it's not happening because they're not leaving the house as much, but or they're just realizing that is not the shit that you need to go to the hospital for. So she's in a spot where there's all these restaurants that aren't open or can only do takeout. They're like delivering food every day, and she's in a spot where her workload is actually a little bit less than it would be typically because they're spending all their time preparing for this big jump to happen, which could and probably still will happen, but it hasn't happened yet. So she's in a pretty good spot right now. But I'm still here to be near her. So
you guys just want to be like Americans, and I got to tell you, got to give it up. We got 4% of the world's population, but 25% of the corona cases.
You're number one,
man.
You're
number one. If you didn't vote for Trump in 2016, like I don't know,
got another chance in 2020.
I don't know if that's the message we went to.
I mean,
what's going on here?
I'm not from there, but I was watching his press conference the other day, and he assured me that they were doing a great job and that everything was going to be fine. So
I don't like this. I don't like the Canadian endorsing. You know what, Matt? You take over. Matt, how are things in Philadelphia? How are things going up there with you?
Not too bad. We got an email on Friday that they're having us work from home till June 1st now, which is wild because I have a wedding at the end of May. So
yeah. Wait, what?
Yeah. I got a wedding.
You're getting married?
May. No, I'm not, but my brother is.
Because I was about to say, like, there have to be multiple signs that the world is ending, and I thought that the pandemic would have been the last one. Matt Kelly getting married seems like a natural for this kind of thing going on. I'm like, oh yeah, well, of course.
He always did
the pandemic and Trump's presidency. The next thing that happens before the four horses of the apocalypse take the earth is Matt Kelly gets married. But how many locusts are you going to have at your wedding, Matt?
I mean, the plan was to get married at San Diego Comic-Con 2020, but
that ain't happening.
So,
guys, I know this shit just got real. You guys mentioned Comic-Con 2020, and you guys know that is totally canceled. So sorry about that, boys.
But there's something at the end of May that's not yet. So.
What are you talking about? What is this wedding that you're going to in May? What is this?
I mean, do we have anyone that could talk more intelligently about it?
Why don't you just tell us? Why don't you just tell us?
Well, my brother was supposed to be married already. His wedding was scheduled for April 18th. And then he got a phone call, I want to say at the tail end of March, beginning of April. And they were like, hey, it's not going to work out, but don't worry. We got a great date for you. We're rescheduling you for May 29th, which still just feels too soon, but he got a phone call or a text something. He got something on Sunday that was basically like, hey, CDC said we can open up on the 16th, so you're golden on the 29th. So
with that, okay, wait, let me think about how this works without even asking if that's the date that they wanted or if maybe they want to push this social distancing thing a little longer. They were like, oh yeah, listen, we're opening, so you're gonna take this wedding date, and Good luck. You're gonna have a Corona wedding. That's insane. We actually do have the groom to be in the on the show. Let's invite him. Here he is. Let's just get Brian right here on the show. Other co-host of the Horror Movie Night podcast. This is Matt's brother here. This is Brian.
Hey, bro.
And,
Hello,
and Brian
everyone.
looked up on Sunday and found out he was going to get married late May. Brian, what the hell, buddy? Like, what?
It's a very weird. Contracts are a very weird thing. So you don't really know what you can or can't do. It would almost be like if you went to Burger King and you ordered a Whopper, and then they were like, "Hey, you can't have that Whopper today, but I'll give it to you next week." And it's like, I'm not going to want a Whopper next week. Can I just get my money back? And they're like, no, because we're still giving you the Whopper. I mean, you don't
You're going to get your Whopper.
Yeah.
So let me think about this, because if I had a crap deal like that at Burger King, which means just a deal at Burger King, if I had a horrible deal like that at Burger King, and Burger King I don't think is going to sponsor the show anymore, wouldn't you get like something extra, like, hey, we're sorry to inconvenience you,
Like
we know
2
this is
Whoppers.
bad, but, like,
You can have a second Whopper.
We're
Or a
gonna
coupon
upgrade
for
you.
50% off another Whopper.
Did they in any way offer you like an upgrade to your shotgun wedding? This is not the kind of shotgun wedding we usually hear about.
Yes and no. We got some money off, but it was because the only available date was a Friday, which is cheaper than a Saturday.
Okay. That's not bad, but nothing for potentially putting you and your guests in danger.
No.
We got some good news. We got some bad news. Good news is you're still going to get married in May. Bad news, there's a potential some of your guests going to die. And here's the thing, like, dude, you're in Florida. Like, Florida opened their shit up, right? Like Pensacola Beach and all those places, like, they're open for business, right? Like, where are the beaches near you? Are you near one
I
of
heard
the beaches?
wrestling's an essential service down there.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the things. They bribed the state of Florida to allow wrestling to be an essential service just so that they could have their wrestling.
I mean,
Screw safety.
Nothing was really closed ever. It was like this week it started cracking down. Like every time there would be like a new breaking law, it would just be like, we suggest that you do this. We suggest that you wear a mask to the store. We suggest that you don't go outside.
We suggest you don't get married.
Yeah, but it's the whole thing's weird down here. Everyone's in a weird situation, especially me and my fiance. We're both business owners. So we're like in a weird spot where it's like, hey, you shouldn't work, but don't worry, we're going to give you some money. But unfortunately, we don't have any money because Ruth Chris Steakhouse really needed $20 million. So they got all the money. But don't work. You still owe your rent and you still owe all your bills, and figure it out without leaving the house. So,
did you see those? Shake Shack gave their money back.
They did. They did.
Shake Shack got, I think, pretty royally reamed on social media because they found out that company collected some of the small business loan fund, and Shake Shack woke up I think yesterday and was like, whoa, no, we're going to give it back. We're going to give it back.
Exactly.
How do you give that stuff back? If you give it back, does it go back in the pool, or do you have to donate that stuff? Once it's out the door, is it out the door? Did Trump already put his
it goes to
damn thing?
Now Ruth Chris has $30 million.
Fine, we'll take it back. We'll give it to Ruth Chris Steakhouse.
Yeah, that's how it works. I mean, and I'm torn. I appreciate it, but it's also like everyone knows what SBA stands for. You know what I mean? You're a small business association. You're a multi-million-dollar chain. So like you're like, what? How? Oh, I shouldn't have had this. Then
why do you?
And the food's good. Get over it.
Like, I love how they're like, oh, we shouldn't take this money. Didn't they have to apply for that kind of thing?
They had to, and they really didn't have to give it back because nobody cares. You know what I mean? I don't know if you've ever had. I think I've taken Mac there. It's great. You know what I mean? Chick-fil-A is still thriving. If your food's good, you can do shitty things and people will look past it. So I don't think it's gonna put a dent in them at all.
Well, Brian, considering that you have to go through with this wedding, I mean, you're gonna go through with it, right, man?
Yeah.
You don't have to, man. Like,
I don't. If I could share my screen right now. And
There's
show
any
you my
time you could
fiance.
get out, it's probably right now.
I don't have any shots left.
Hey man, bro code. You're on Geekscape. Your fiance don't even listen to this, man. If you want out, like, you just let me know, man. All
We're
right.
the only 4 people here.
Hey man, we're the only ones here. This isn't even live streaming, bro. Like, there's no way. Like, come on, man. It's just the 4 of us. You want out of your wedding or what? All right.
Yeah, Jade rules.
What kind of like, what kind of things are you guys changing about the wedding to have it so soon after the local governments lifted this ordinance to stay at home? Like, what do you think? Oh, the suggestion in Florida to stay at home.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of stuff are you guys doing?
Nothing too crazy, moving it to a Friday where it's less active, changing the flowers. We're both wearing hazmat suits, so that'll make the first kiss interesting. No, I mean, we don't like the craziest thing about this whole thing is like, I believe it or not, I wasn't alive for the Spanish flu. So like, I've never experienced anything like this. Right. So like, I'm lost at this time, we're in a weird spot where obviously a lot of people don't trust the people we're supposed to trust, but like, I don't know when everything's going to be okay. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it could get worse. So you might as well get married.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We could be like Chernobyl right now, where everyone's like, "Oh, it's fine. There's no corona. Just go."
Not great, not terrible.
yeah. Go get married.
Why is my skin peeling off? Oh, Brian, listen, man. I hope you like whatever you need. You're part of the Geekscape family. I know that we inherited you through Matt because he wouldn't go the fuck away, but you're family now because Matt is family. So I wish you nothing but the best. If you need anything in late May, like, let me know, dude. Good luck. That's a huge day. Good luck, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's insane, but good luck getting married during the pandemic. I guess people are giving birth. There's all sorts. I mean, you can't stop your life, right? Like,
that I understand more. It's not like, well, we're gonna have a baby next week, but we decided to push it back till August.
Hey Billy, can you hold off? Can you hold off a little bit and maybe not stick your toes out quite yet?
Head first, feet first. I think it was a feet first, baby. What am I talking about? I came out of a tube. All right, Brian, man. It was good talking to you, buddy. Good luck.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Good luck.
You're part of the family. So if you guys want to hear more of Brian and really need to hear more of Matt, like, subscribe to the Horror Movie Night podcast. These guys, I'm so proud of you guys. You guys are
thank you.
Kicking ass as a podcast, and I'm so glad to have you in the Geekscape roster. Is that right? Like, is that what you'd call it? I mean, you run the damn thing. So, I mean, if people are Geekscape viewers, listeners, they're viewers now, and are like, hey, I like horror movies. Well, how would you describe Horror Movie Night to new listeners?
I say that it's a comedy show about appreciating bad horror. It used to there it is. It used to be a lot more of mocking, especially in the first like 50 episodes. I would say it was a lot of like, look at this piece of shit, and like just kind of dogpiling on it.
What happened? What, Matt?
But
Matt, what's going on? Matt, what
Matt,
just happened?
you need to talk to us.
Our audio, our MP3 listeners, like, come on, this is our bread and butter. What's going on? Why you can't just start laughing in the middle of a broadcast, Matt? Like, this is not just a visual medium. This is a podcast. Can you be professional? Are you this unprofessional on your Horror Movie Night podcast? Like, what are you laughing about, Matt? Please, if you can hold it together, please, Matt. What?
So
I didn't see anything. So Matt, you were saying. Go ahead.
I'm like watching you now. I'm like, when's
no, you're good. You're good. How would you
Okay.
describe Horror Movie Night for people who haven't heard it before?
No, but like I said, we used to dogpile on bad movies, and now it's I feel like I'm on Wayne's World. This is ridiculous. I feel like it's a lot more about celebrating those movies, and like, yeah, some of them are trash, but a lot of the time there's something. You and I use the phrase a lot of pretty badass, and like that's how I would describe every one of these movies has at least one scene in it where you're like, that was pretty tight. That scene was all right. So yeah, we got episode 250 comes out literally on the day of Brian's wedding.
Oh wow! Well,
Yeah.
you can skip that. Like, don't even go to the wedding. It sounds like people are just gonna get sick there. So like, let's not.
Yeah, it's worth the risk.
Matt, I got to tell you, I have some good news for you, brother. One person has said, "Go Team Matt."
Yes.
In the chat. Here's some bad news though. It was Brian Gilmore.
No. No. Yeah, I love the support. I'll take it wherever I can. # Mad Attack. So,
yeah, so you do have one supporter for Team Matt.
Look at that picture.
It happens.
That doesn't help at all.
Brian Gilmore watching live on our YouTube channel, and we love Brian.
Imagine he's watching exactly like that. Like,
yeah, he probably has that same face watching.
Why didn't he ask me to be on?
When am I going to be on a horror movie night? I said I'm Team Matt.
If I say, hey, Team Matt, can I be on horror movie night?
I do want to give a shout out because I have the Facebook chat open.
That's
so
a no. That's a no, I guess.
I can see things happening.
Yeah, I can see all the comments right
here.
No.
No. It's not the comments. It's that I got a notification that not only did our newest writer, AJ Santini, start watching, but then started a watch party so other people could watch. So, huge shout out to AJ and also killing it with those articles.
And with it, I think went Matt's internet. It could just be Jim in Brooklyn because he says, I have you guys on the big screen in my living room and using my phone to comment. So, like, he's like the fucking Matrix up in this bitch. Spicy Cupcake 420 on 420. That's today, April 20th. Says, go Canada. No. And she says, we got free healthcare, though. Boom. Yeah, Derek, is this free healthcare thing? Like, hey, they're not going to charge us for the coronavirus stuff. They said so.
I can go to the hospital right now if I want to. Like, I don't even have to worry about it. I got no savings account, but I can go to the hospital.
You have no savings account? How the hell did that happen?
I'm just kidding. There's an account. There's just nothing in it.
Because we can't just have.
I'm waiting to make my big break with podcasting.
Oh Jesus, Derek, you actually host 2 shows for us. Here's Big Yanks and what he thinks of that. Big Yank says #Liberate America.
That's the Second Amendment.
And then Brian Gilmore responds with Liberate Matt.
Yeah.
So Brian Gilmore's really pushing hard for you there, Maddie. Derek, why don't you talk about the shows that you host for Geekscape and if we're ever going to see them again? You host our Xbox show and our Apple games.
Yeah, we've got 2 shows. They are both on a little bit of a Corona hiatus right now, just because I have found myself very anxious and just myself being extra stressed out for the time being. But 2 shows, they are very similar to each other. One is called Xbox Game Passengers, which has been a super fun show to make. And it's essentially me and a guest. Every episode, we spend some time playing, and then we break down a randomly selected game from the Xbox Game Pass service, which is kind of like a Netflix, but for Xbox subscription. So sometimes the games are great, and sometimes they are god awful. But because we have no choice over what we're playing, even if it's terrible, we have to play through it, and then we share our thoughts. And we don't tell each other about the show, about the game. We don't give our thoughts on the game to each other before we record on air. So sometimes our thoughts are very different, and it makes for a great conversation. And
Derek,
I do
be honest with me.
I'm recording an episode tomorrow.
Okay, listen, you gotta get back to work, pal. Like, you gotta get back to work.
Yeah.
Xbox Game Passengers, for the listeners, is my favorite show on the network, and you stopped recording it, and like, come on, dude.
It's so tough because I know it's the perfect time to push harder into podcasting because people have more time and people are at home and
they're playing video games
and they're playing video games. Absolutely.
I can fire you right now. You think they're sitting around watching crappy horror movies like Matt? Look at that collection behind him.
Yeah, it's a pretty good collection. It's pretty big.
I can't wait until we can smell stream this show so they can smell whatever the hell that smells like over there in Matt's apartment. Okay? Then the listeners will really start bailing. Okay? Like, thank God you can hear us, you can see us, but the second you start being able to smell us, you guys are all out of here. What's keeping you, Derek? Why can't you be doing this Xbox Game Passengers? Come on.
So
You do the show remotely anyway.
I do the show remotely. I don't know. My work has kind of blown. It's all excuses, really. It's all excuses. I've got nothing. It takes a long time to edit the show. I feel like I have done a good job to make it a pretty good sounding show as far as the Geekscape network goes. So, so it takes almost like 2 to 3 times as long to edit as it does to record. And maybe I'm just,
Did he just throw shade at you, Matt? He definitely threw shade at me because that last episode of Geekscape, my audio was not very good. So.
Yeah. I make sure mine sounds good. I know how to edit audio. No, but I mean, come on, man. I edit 4 weekly shows. You can't edit one.
Yeah, but Derek has a life, and you can tell. Like, look at this professional studio that Derek has set up. And then Matt, you're in some like 14-year-old dungeon. I don't know what's going on there. Like, can you describe what's going on behind you?
It's just a collection of shit, basically.
Yeah, and like how much of that has changed since middle school? That's what I want to know.
None, really. Just more things added to it. Well, like, I will say, Derek, first of all, thank you for getting out of the podcasting game, because now your show's been replaced with one of mine as Jonathan's favorite on the network. Right. So that couldn't have happened without that. And as you're throwing shade to all the shows, we actually have a new show that will be debuting on the website tomorrow morning.
I did not approve this.
Yeah.
What is it, show?
MFK Ultimate, hosted by my buddy Joe of the Fright School podcast, but it's a new podcast he's doing where they play Marry, Fuck, Kill with abstract concepts.
Oh, so I don't even have to come back then.
Yeah. So,
no, this thing's going to get canceled after the first episode. Derek, you stay right the hell there.
So the first episode, which it's available on like podcasting apps right now, but it will be on the Geekscape website tomorrow morning, is for coronavirus goals. So it's Marry, Fuck, Kill with write the great American novel, learn a new language, or master a hobby. So
it's not bad. Well, did you guys have any coronavirus goals besides, I don't know, not dying? What are some of the goals that you guys picked up? Because obviously I did start feeling a little cagey, and this live stream and the live streams that are going to come after this have kind of been what's come out of that. I've been creatively stifled, and when I saw this whole platform, I was like, oh yeah, let's do this. The live streaming kicks ass. Have you guys had any new outlets or anything that you've taken on with the pandemic?
I mean, I had a goal to take a break from podcasting, and and it's been going pretty well so far, except for you guys nagging me about it.
Can't talk into computer too much for me.
No, it's tough. Like I went into this. We've been working at home for a month. Like my company started working from home pretty early, and so I had immediate goals of like, now I'm saving 2 hours of driving a day, so let's spend that time working out and stuff. And I've done a little bit of it, but it's not been consistent enough. But I actually recently grabbed a new virtual reality exercise program. I'm the biggest fucking nerd on the planet. Oh my god.
I was like, you know what? You just support Derek right now and just listen. but you said virtual reality exercise program. Yeah. And I was just thinking about all of the things in your apartment that are going to get fucking trashed when you wipe them out with your arms.
Like my foster dog.
Wait, what happened?
Nothing yet, but you know.
That dog's dead.
Like, he's only got one bad leg right now, so we'll see what
you're going to have your VR headset on, and you're going to be sitting there doing the jazzercise VR style, and you're going to end up like stepping on that dog.
Yeah.
And then tripping over your coffee table, taking out a couple vases. The TV's gone.
I don't need a TV. I got VR.
You're dead. It's not going to happen. Hold on, Matt. You got another supporter here in the team. Matt, it's Derek. He's on the show. Like that doesn't count. That doesn't count. I will not have a mutiny on my. I will not have a mutiny here.
If you look just 2 comments down, I retracted it when I offered to be a part of Horror Movie Night, and he ignored it entirely. So
never mind. He is no longer. He is no longer Team Matt, but AJ Santini is. And we do love AJ. AJ's been DJing every day during the pandemic, and
he's been putting up for the last few weeks these great mixtape articles, which he used to do way back in the day, but he started doing them again, and he sends them to me so I can throw them up on the site. And like reading through them, like I wish that I knew as much about anything as he seems to about music. Like the way he'll put like a couple hundred words into describing a single song, and it's just really beautiful. So if you do like music or want to understand the music more than you do, Geekscape.net right now, we just put up one today about clothing. It's an entire mixtape about clothing, which
you had me, and then you said that.
Yeah. Last week's was about, it's got Rancid on there. Cannibalism.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, like, they're actually very cool. And then and there's like a link at the top, and you can play the mixtape as you're reading about the mixtape. It's really neat.
That sounds great. Yeah. I obviously don't even know my own website, but thank you, Derek, for keeping it afloat.
And if you haven't, go and follow AJ on Facebook, because as Jonathan said, he does these like hour-long DJ sets in the middle of the day that are fantastic.
And I figure that people who are watching this live stream either were longtime Geekscape listeners and fell off, or maybe they've just heard of the brand. Maybe they only know some of us personally. But Eric Carter says, "Holy shit, you guys still exist." What's worse about this comment coming from Eric is that it looks like he has a kid and he's procreating. So, yeah, we exist, and we're going to outlast you and your spawn. Maybe we probably will not outlast the spawn. But yeah, Eric, we're here. Like, come on back. And look, sticking up for us. Also from Canada, Russell Sherman. Yeah, we do. We exist. We're still here. That's how we do it. Not only that, like, this isn't even our final form. We're now like streaming. It's kind of fun.
It's a whole new form.
Zuka says, Team Matt, I suppose.
I'll take it. Thank you, Katie.
Yeah, I guess.
I have not seen a single other team be offered up there.
We didn't offer up teams.
I mean, I feel like if there is one team, there has to be alternates.
Some of us, you guys just aren't as thirsty as some of us.
Yeah, Matt's like, I need this. I just need a win, man.
I got 40 legs today.
I just need a win, please. All right, well, let's see what else is going on. Omar Calderon, old school, says, "Good evening, folks."
Holy shit!
Remember that boy from back in the day? Omar's back in the fold. Hey, Omar, how are you, man? I hope you're doing well. Omar has been kicking ass. I've been talking to Omar off of Geekscape for a while, and I hope he is doing well. But hey, man, glad you're watching the show. Enjoy that you're back with us, man. That's it. And then let's see what else we got. We got the comments just keep going. Kate Eglin, we all know her. She says, "I keep forgetting this isn't a Zoom call."
I don't know how to take that one. I saw
we'll
that.
Video you in on the next one. We'll just drop right on the next one. Brian Gilmore says, "LOL at all of Matt's shit." Then Derek. I don't know what that
means. He's talking about the ticker tape at the bottom.
Oh, right. Well,
or there are backgrounds. Like mine is just very clean and put together, and Matt's is Matt's room.
Yeah, I think that at a certain point, Matt did have a bedroom in the house, and then they were like, "Hey, you got to clean your bedroom." He's like, "I'll just take it down to the basement where there's all that other stuff." And he went down there.
If I pan the camera down, you'll see the pillow and blanket
got
where I'll curl up like a hamster.
He's got a specifically placed book on the left there, and he's just hoping we'll ask him about it.
Now, Matt, don't do it yet because I want the live streamers to hang on, but we actually have a surprise towards the end of the episode. I'll go ahead and tell you, but you're going to want to hang on so you can see it. Matt probably has a dead body in his room, and he's going to show us.
There's no probably.
There's no problem. Okay. Daniel Campozano, Big Yanks. He's up in New York. He throws in with Matt's parents' basement smells like a pile of hard as rocks, crusty socks. Now, Matt, how do the socks get crusty?
I feel like I don't think that that's true because Matt's mom does his laundry pretty regularly.
Ooh.
Every time she picks up one of Matt's socks, she's like, "These are my grandchildren." She's like every time she throws them in the wash, she's killing her own grandchildren. Brian Gilmore has his goals for the coronavirus. More food shit, and I started playing guitar again, which is the male version of cutting bangs right now. Yeah. In the Nick of Time says, whoever survives this
podcast.
Oh yeah, well, I don't know. Oh my God, Raymond Russell presents Listen to Your Heart On right now, y'all. It sucks so bad. Raymond, we are sorry, and if you want to call in one day, maybe we'll have you as a guest. And then
I have no idea what that is.
I don't know what that is either. Thank God, because
it's No Love Is Blind. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I was about to knock The Bachelor, but I watched all of Love Is Blind.
Did you watch The Circle? Did you watch The Circle?
You know what? I was like, okay,
we're living The Circle right now.
Doing that. All right. Raymond Russell did say it's like Bachelor in Paradise, both music and duets. No, that is not something that's fun. You guys remember this boy? Rev 3.
Shit.
I thought this was just a Facebook group. No, this is a party, and you're invited. Yeah, we got some old school Geekscapists coming back. But I got a great idea for you guys. You guys ready for this one? Eric Francisco, who used to write for us and now writes over at Inverse, has a fantastically themed subject for us right now. In celebration of the podcast that we're launching tomorrow, the F, Marry, Kill podcast, we are going to play a little game called F, Marry, Kill everyone in this stream. So let's go ahead and open that up to the comments. Go ahead and comment with your F, Marry, Kill. Don't worry, we won't take it personally. And I know that I talk a lot.
I might.
You can go ahead and kill me. F, Marry, Kill between Derek, Matt, and I. And in case you forget our names, I'm going to go ahead and throw them up here on the screen.
I just feel like you're obviously the F because your hair is just beautiful.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, and I'm only good for
your quarantine hair is like head and shoulders, no pun intended, above the rest of ours.
I mean, my plan was to F myself because I already do every night. So
how do you think those socks get like that?
No. Okay, here we go. Some of these are already starting to come in. Thank you, Eric, for the subject. Here we go. Let's see. We got AJ Santini. He says, marry Derek for editing his articles.
You know what? They barely need to be edited. So, I'll take that credit, though.
AJ, you're a good writer, man. We love having you on the site.
Mary was my choice for Derek as well.
In the Nick of Time, just goes ahead and says, F, Marry, Kill myself. So that's how much fun this stream is going. Yeah, this works. Gilmore has got a little throwdown. He's saying, fuck Jonathan, kill Matt, marry Derek. Jesus Christ, there's no contest. These are the only options.
Well, he said the Marty. He said the Marty, Derek. Let's be clear.
Here, listen, Derek and Matt. I'm just gonna go ahead and argue for you guys. This is what happens. You can go ahead and kill me, and you can fuck Derek because look how handsome he is with his facial hair, and then marry Matt because he'll be in the basement. You'll have a house to yourself. I think that this is just I mean, come on, guys. This is super easy. Super easy. Just go ahead.
I'm standing by mine. Marry Derek because
I just got an F. I just got an F, you guys.
Hold on. Yeah, Raymond Russell is
Eric
back
got
with
to where I was going.
Look at this. Raymond wants to be a silver fox like me. Well, yeah. Well, if you survive long enough and you stop painting your hair like I did, it's gonna happen. And Raymond does back it up with, it's a dream, what with his balding. Dude, I've got a friar.
Did you say painted your hair? Is that how you had colored hair for so long?
Dude,
I just thought the divorce aged you.
The divorce did age me, Derek. It definitely aged me. But yeah, I've got a friar tuck spot right here. And I would love, I've been watching The Office. In that first season, you see Steve Carell's hair and it's thinning, and then the second season, he got that check, and he totally fixed his hair. And I'm like, oh, I want that Office money. But yeah, I used to paint my hair when I used to host more things. But now that we're streaming, maybe I should go back to busting out the hair coloring.
I think Eric, it looks good on you.
What's that?
I think I agree. The silver fox look is good for you, John.
Yeah, out of the shit that comes out of my mouth, people are like, that guy's an idiot. And then they see the touch of gray, and they're like, maybe sophisticated. Yeah, maybe he survived this long.
It's just
maybe he's not as young as he sounds.
Elegance on you.
One person at a time, please. This is not the Horror Movie Night podcast. Let's not talk over each other. Eric Francisco, who created this horrible game, then said, this is his suggestion. You guys ready for this? I'm not getting it to work. I'm trying.
I'm
to get
reading
the
it.
comment to work.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that?
We can read it. Mary.
Oh, you guys can see it?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Sorry about that. Sorry
Yeah.
about that. He says, marry Matt, F Derek, kill Jonathan, Geekscape is ours now. That's not bad, Eric. I'm in. You guys can take this crap off my hands. Kitty Larkin says, F the podcast, marry Derek, kill the crusty ass socks. Okay, I'm in, Katie. I'm in. And AJ Santini now says, marry Matt because I want half the movies in the divorce.
I don't think you do.
No. Matt,
Have you seen some of those movies?
No. Russell Sherman is going to back me up and say, F Matt, marry Derek, kill John. It's all good. It's all good.
That's not even the VHS collection behind you, is it?
No.
Maybe.
That's you guys are seeing the letters. You're seeing basically
the letters.
Psych. You're seeing Psych until about South Park back there.
Like a late P.
Yeah.
A late letter P, a PS through South Park
Oh
is
my
the
God.
only. That's all you're watching right now. This is not his entire collection. That's not even a fraction of his collection. And guys, I think I agree with Brian right here. If any of you guys are watching and like what you see, Brian Gilmore says, "Team fuck Jonathan." There we go. Yeah, it may look good because the gray. It may look good because I can make jokes, but trust me, it'll be disappointing in the end. Not unlike this live stream. You're like, oh, a live stream. Then you started watching it and you were like, this is a bad idea. All right, guys. Russell Sherman did say that my silver hair is sexy as fuck. Rawr! I'm popular with the men tonight and most nights because the ladies are like out. Here we go. Guys, let's talk a little bit of news. We talked about the horror movie night thing. If you guys are watching this on the YouTube channel, Matt actually uploaded the horror movie night pilot that he did. It's like a test pilot. Matt, how would you describe the horror movie night pilot that you put together?
So it was to test out a concept. It was to see how we felt about the concept, and we like what we did, but we want to do it better. We want to do it with ideally bigger names. This was just a group of friends having a good time. So it's very modeled after like Best Week Ever and I Love the 80s. We had a group of friends and some comedians and Jonathan and a few other folks watch a movie called Demon Wind, which is a steaming pile of shit from the early 90s.
I love that you said a bunch of comedians and Jonathan.
And Jonathan.
We tried making a couple jokes, but if you've been watching this stream, you know how successful that was.
Yeah. But so we had them all sit down, watch the movie, sit in front of a green screen, talk about the movie. And then my brother, who was on earlier, did all the editing. He crushed it. It was actually, I want to say it was like one of his first ever editing jobs. And I thought he did a really great job with it. And then a friend of ours, Kyle, who's a documentary filmmaker, he made a really great film that's on Amazon Prime called Survival of the Film Freak. He came down and we shot a bunch of little like fake commercials and skits. So we cut it all together into like a 9-minute demo reel / pilot. And then I dropped today for 420, I dropped a deleted scene of Kyle playing an evil video store clerk. So you can see that on there as well.
You know what? If you guys are already on the YouTube channel, go ahead and click over to that. What's insane was I signed up for a Periscope account. Do people still Periscope? I don't know. Are people watching this thing on Periscope? Is Periscope still a thing?
I feel like when you posted that you'd sign up for that, that was the first I'd heard the word in a long time.
Periscope?
Yeah.
I listen to about like a basketball podcast where he takes comments and he's like, "Oh, on Periscope, so and so said this," and I'm like, "What?" People Periscope?
More of a meerkat man myself.
Oh yeah, I remember Meerkat for that hot second. That was like South by Southwest 2007. I remember people being like, "Hey man, you Meerkat?" A week later, nobody was meerkatting anything. Matt,
Rest in peace.
Raymond Russell wants to know: is that a giant box of sugar next to you? What is the other side? Matt, right there.
No,
right there. It looks like
so-
printer paper.
Yeah, it's printer paper. So we're taking advantage of lockdown to actually clean the house. And my dad used to run a like when you would go to like the beach and they would have the placemats that would have like all the advertisements. That was my dad. He would shop around and like sign people up to place advertisements on placemats at like hotel dinner places. So we've got boxes and boxes of old placemats everywhere.
But Matt, on an earlier episode,
Sounds like a podcast.
You said that your dad, he works at that paper company and they've been making toilet paper.
Yeah.
Like, how insane is that job right now?
Yeah, he's there as we speak, working.
And everybody's healthy at the toilet paper company, or like what happened? What goes
Well,
on
they
there?
had 3 or 4 cases there so far, but they're still just pushing forward.
3 or 4 cases of toilet paper.
Yes,
They're gonna need more than that.
of the COVID. But I think he's good still, as far as we know.
Okay.
If we don't
Brian Gilmore,
test him, he can't get it.
Brian Gilmore said that in related news, not only did I sign up for Periscope, I'm back on Foursquare. I signed up for a little Foursquare account, and I'm actually mayor of this live stream right now. So you guys keep checking in our live streams. Maybe you'll be mayor and you can get a discount, but you'll never get the time you wasted on this damn thing back. So there's that. You guys see, we're talking about going back to normal. Georgia says that they're opening next week and they want to open their movie theaters.
Jeez.
Like, let's talk about. I don't know.
What?
Yeah, what are you gonna see?
Well, let's talk about like going back to normal. Keep in mind this is Georgia, so I don't know how normal any of that is. But like, what do you guys think? What's your comfort zone? Like, obviously, Matt's going to go to a wedding in late May when Brian gets married, because otherwise, there's no way he'd meet a girl. You really need to catch that bouquet when they throw it, Matt. You need to.
Is it my job to catch it?
Well, if you want to, if you catch the bouquet, then you're the
destiny,
next one
man.
getting married. Like that's the tradition.
Yeah,
You
but I
would be
thought
a beautiful bride.
am I okay?
You're coming back with that damn bouquet, or you're not.
Just push people to the
podcast
side.
is canceled. You're like a bridezilla. How comfortably would you like? When do you guys think you'd be comfortable going to the movie theaters? And keep in mind, like they're probably going to do the social distancing thing, and only 50, they're going to have half capacity or something in the theaters. Like, how comfortable are you guys going to be going to the movies?
I'd on the grand scheme of things, I'd probably feel more comfortable in the movies than a lot of other places. Like there's a horror convention the same weekend as my brother's wedding that still hasn't canceled, and I'm just like, who are you kidding at this point? Like,
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like, I love the show. It's probably one of my favorite horror shows of the year, but like it probably shouldn't be happening is like my stance. So my choice was to go to a horror convention with a couple 100 to 1,000 people, or like go see the type of shit that I see in a movie theater where there's usually only 8 of us there in the first place. Like, I'm going to feel more comfortable.
Yeah, the good news is that like the crap movies you choose to see, those are not packed theaters.
No, never. So that's why I'm not that nervous. Like,
Okay.
I will say the last movie I saw before the theaters shut down, like in a theater, was Onward on its opening night, and there was 6 of us there. So
Agreed.
like,
yeah, there were 4 or 5 in the theater, and it was the movie's amazing.
yeah.
I
mean, I'm into that. I'm into sitting in a mostly empty movie theater.
Yeah. Heidi wants to just clarify that in late May, you're supposed to catch the garter, not the bouquet.
That's what I was saying. That's not...
Matt, don't yell at me. You can yell at me on your own show.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't listen to that because you just yell at me.
Sorry. Speaking of which, I'd like to formally ask you if you want to be on One Hit Thunder this weekend.
Yeah, are you going to be hosting it, or is Chris Papalius going to be hosting it?
Chris is back, baby.
What?
Chris is back, baby.
Here's the thing. Our friend Chris Papalius is in a band called Punchline. He got super busy, and Matt took over hosting our music show, One Hit Thunder. And it is my favorite show on the podcast network because Derek doesn't do Xbox shows anymore. Yeah, I'd love to be on the show, but I got to tell you, Matt, I've gotten used to listening to you do the show. I think you do a great job on the show, and I definitely want to talk to you about music. So I'll talk to Chris about music, but if you're around, maybe you throw in a little bit. You know what I mean? Like maybe you do a little bit of this live stream thing. And
what
I
you're
talk to Chris, but you throw in a little bit of your opinion because I love the show. I think you and your guests have been great.
What are you going to talk about if you join?
I don't want to reveal it.
All right, fair enough.
Should I not reveal it? I mean, I think that if we're thinking one hit wonders, Dashboard Confessional, I just pissed off all the emo kids. I just pissed you all off. I meant Newfound Glory. I just pissed you all off. I just pissed off all the emo kids. Just kidding. We're not going to do those bands. Those bands are great. And I don't know if they were. I guess, yeah, I mean, they all charted, so they're all good to go.
We actually did an episode to kind of transition from me leaving and Chris taking back over, where we went through some of the some of the bands that have been submitted as one-hit wonders on the One Hit Thunder page that I've rejected because they're definitely not one-hit wonders. And on that list, the two big ones where I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" were Everclear and Weezer.
That's just trolling. Like that's trolling, right?
No, I mean technically. So here's the thing. Technically, I rejected the Weezer one sight on sound, and then when I looked into it, if you're counting crossover hits, Beverly Hills is the only Weezer song that made it off of the modern rock charts onto the Hot 100.
No, wow,
which is insane.
Yeah,
but I would
crazy.
Never have us do an episode on Weezer, like never.
No. Yeah, I will pick a good band and a good song for One Hit Thunder. That'd be a lot of fun. I love the show because what if you guys don't know what Matt and Chris do is they pick a song and they look at the whole discography of the band and they're like, hey, even though this band did have this one song that was a stratospheric hit, was the rest of their discography any good? And they decide whether or not that was a one-hit wonder or a one-hit thunder, and that band it rocks. Hey, I've discovered that some of those bands have some pretty awesome music beyond that song, you know.
Yeah, I thought the SR-71 one was fun because I don't think a lot of people realize that they wrote Bowling for Soup's biggest song.
Right, and that's they wrote 1985.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then Bowling for Soup did a cover of it. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, and then of course like Butch Walker then goes and like writes a shit ton of amazing hits. He just produced the last Green Day album. Like he's been working like crazy.
I'm really sad that we're not going to get to see Green. We were going to go see Green Day during Comic-Con this summer.
Right, they were going to play that weekend.
Yeah, with like, was it My Chemical Romance too? Like
and Weezer.
And Weezer. That was going to be fucking insane, and I'm so disappointed we won't get to see it now.
Maybe they'll just reschedule the whole thing for 2021. Like they'll just
at this point, the LA mayor has said that there's going to be no concerts or conventions until through 2020. So,
apparently they're always got to circle back to wrestling, but WrestleMania might be moving from LA apparently because they don't know if gatherings will be allowed at the point of when the show is next March, but also they don't know if the stadium is going to be ready now because it's being built currently.
Right now, everyone's freaking out that it's actually Fall Out Boy, not My Chemical Romance.
Right, it's Fall Out Boy.
I can dream.
Yeah, AJ Santini is yelling, "It's Fall Out Boy," and then Kate Eglin is like, "Fall Out Boy." Then she said, "Just saying."
All caps and an exclamation point.
Calm down real quick.
Just saying. She was always sweet. Wonderful Kate making the different graphics for you, Matt, for all the different
every
podcasts.
Logo. Yeah,
every logo for our podcast that is worth the snuff. Kate Eglin, amazing designer.
Question for you, Jonathan. Since we brought up Green Day, I remember when the first single of that new album came out, you were like, "What the hell are these guys doing?" Is that still your stance on the full album, or have you come to enjoy it? Because I know Green Day is like your number one.
They're not my number one. You know, my number one is the Mr. T Experience, so don't even play. That being said, I do enjoy Green Day, and I do love that new album. And I mean, not every album can be a version of 21st Century Breakdown, or it seems like every time there's a Green Day album, it feels like there's Dookie, and then there's Insomniac, or there's American Idiot, and then there's Warning, and people usually really love every other album, and the next album always feels like
Uno, and then there's Dose,
it feels like an accent of that prior album, and then Green Day has to reinvent something. So this feels like a little bit of reinvention, but I love the sound. I've always liked their band, Foxborough Hot Tubs, so I'm totally happy with it, and we'll see what they do next time. I just like that they're putting out different albums. I don't like bands that put out the same album every time, and this album is totally different enough.
That was a conversation you and I had about Alkaline Trio back when I lived in LA, when they put out This Addiction. We're like, it's a fine album, but it feels like it's a huge step backwards to just be like, okay, we'll just do Goddamn It again.
And not even back. I don't slight good bands making great albums, and the album's pretty good, but I don't think it's a step backwards. I think it's like a lateral move.
Yeah.
And I don't love lateral moves. The one that is from my heart is Love Is Dead is the Mr. T Experience album that got me to love that band. And then right after that, they did Revenge is Sweet and So Are You, which Dr. Frank has described as almost a double album. And it sounds a lot like Love Is Dead. It's a lot of the same pop stuff. And actually the title Love Is Dead is actually the name of a song that was written but didn't end up on that album. It ended up on Revenge is Sweet. And they feel like a double album. A little bit of production difference, but it's not until that next album comes out, Alcatraz, where things are totally different. And everybody's like, what the hell? What happened? They just wanted another version of Love Is Dead. And I don't think a band can do that, or you'll just, I mean, I think when you look back at things like Pinkerton, when everybody wanted another Blue album from Weezer, like Pinkerton is such a better album and it's an incredible album. And I think that all the cred that Weezer has with music people comes from Pinkerton. The Blue album's awesome. Rick Ocasek did it. It's an awesome album. But Pinkerton, it was such an, I don't know, it just felt like that was the one that the writing really kicked in. And I don't even know if the feedback and reviews they got on that album, I don't know if they recover from that, because like, where's the adventurous nature? It's there in some places on their albums, but I'm looking for the new Weezer album because I love that single that they put out. It's like the best Weezer song in the last 20 years to me.
Yeah. Weezer's, and I've said this before, and you and I have talked about this before, but like Weezer, even at Weezer's worst, is sometimes better than a lot of bands at their best. And like, that's like the thing that keeps me going is like, there's not a Weezer album that I've hated from start to finish. There's always one or two tracks where I'm like, ooh, I wish that this was just 10 tracks of this song because it's perfect.
Agreed. And we'll see. I mean, we'll see. This Van Weezer album, maybe it's going to be awesome. You don't know. Derek, I don't mean to interrupt, but your friend Barry says, hi, Derek Craneville. Thumbs up. Your friend.
It's my uncle, actually.
That's your uncle.
Yeah.
Your uncle, Barry Vandermee. That's a fun name. I like Barry Vandermee. He sounds like
Cranevelt's pretty fun too.
Yeah, but that one sounds like a Dr. Seuss character. So Barry, you've got a really cool name. Barry Vandermee was a man who lived in the sea. And I don't know, I'm not gonna rhyme that shit. So guys, we talked about going to movie theaters. Matt says we got nothing to lose. I think I'm gonna hold off a little bit longer.
What was the last movie you saw in theaters, John?
We both I went to Onward.
You were Onward as well. I was Sonic the Hedgehog.
What a good movie.
Guys, those movies
so good.
We were doing so well 2020.
And to the point where the people that I saw it with, like we walk out of the theater and my close friend who came to visit me for my birthday, which because it was allowed a month and a half ago, was convinced that the whole like the terrible looking trailer and the terrible looking Sonic was just a marketing ploy to get people to go see it once like they delayed it a year and they redid everything. Like I don't believe it for a second, but that apparently that's like a conspiracy theory that's going around, is that that was never the intended Sonic design and it was just meant to make everybody angry.
Whatever it was, the movie ended up good.
Oh, the movie ended up great. I was I was in a theater full of kids, and I was laughing twice as hard as any of them. Like,
yeah.
But the movie,
shut up, Gramps.
The movie's good regardless of the design. You know what I mean? It's not good because it's like, oh, that looks just like Sonic. It's good because the script is tight.
Totally. But I feel like I feel like if it was the same movie but with Sonic looking like that, would you be able to look past the fact that Sonic looked like a fucking whatever he looked like?
Have you seen the movies I watch?
Yeah, well, what do you got over there on that shelf there, man?
Yeah, it's like I've watched movies with rubber poop monsters, so I'm pretty sure I can get past Sonic having teeth.
Man, that Sonic's got too many hair on his legs. I don't like that Sonic too much, man. Wouldn't you run too fast that the hair just comes right off his legs? You run too fast.
Let me see. If you want, I'll turn around. I'll see what kind of crazy shit I have directly behind me.
Yeah, why don't you go for that? Go for that. Okay. Go for that. I'll take this time to talk to Derek. I'm concerned about him. I think the pandemic.
You're gonna keep me on the screen?
No, just find out. Just keep moving. I actually want to watch him. Look at him. He's like, oh, cancel. Here's Matt going through his DVD collection. Yeah, that one's too good. Got to find some real piece of crap over here. What I just now see is the collection of toys over there on the top.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. Child's Play 2. You got some Child's Play 2 action figures.
Oh, there we go. We got Smiley. Evil wears a smile.
The new face of horror.
Matt, that movie though was like the social media one though, right? Like that's one where they got like influencers to be in a movie. That doesn't count. That's trash. AJ Santini sees SLC Punk over there somewhere. That's a good movie. Did SLC Punk get a sequel, Matt? Wasn't it supposed to get a sequel?
It got a sequel, but I didn't buy it. So this is, I think I've tried to make you watch this before, John. It's arguably one of our favorite movies that we've done for.
Oh,
Did you kick him?
Sorry. I accidentally kicked him, Matt. It was only a matter of time. I wanted to actually put you big on the screen.
Serial Insane Clown Killer.
Oh, that movie looks tight. That movie looks tight as hell, man. I got to tell you, that's
the clown that they're advertising, right?
Yeah, that looks tight.
In the back, you can see that's what the clown actually looks like.
I mean, does it really make the movie that much worse or better in any way? No. Oh, yeah. Matt, does the difference in clown really care? Like, does it matter at all?
No, not at all. John, you'll love when the clown is attacking, right? He only speaks in nursery rhymes.
Oh my god.
But they slow down the audio so it's quote unquote creepier. So he's walking around. He's like, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall.
I'm watching that crap. Yo, man, bring that to Comic-Con
next year.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
We were paid for it.
Nothing will top Belly of the Beast. That was that is still like the golden nugget of bad that I found.
Yeah, that's Steven Seagal. Dude, guys, I've got a great Steven Seagal story. My buddy is an editor. He edits a lot of movies, and he edited throughout the 90s. And he's like, hey, man, so think of like the worst movies that came out in the 90s. And a lot of them me or my buddies worked on. And so we were making fun of Steven Seagal, and he tells me this story about when Steven Seagal, when he was editing Glimmer Man. Do you guys remember Glimmer Man, the one he did with Damon Wayans? It was before Steven Seagal totally turned into Grimace from McDonald's. Like if you look at Steven Seagal now, he looks like a sofa with like a fucking like greasy ponytail. It's like, whoa, why am I watching this movie where Grimace from McDonald's is karate chopping people? That's what Steven Seagal looks like now. But in the late 90s, he was still kind of holding it together. But Glimmer Man, I think, is where that shift happened. And it's the movie where he's fighting crime with Damon Wayans. And so they're in post. And my buddy is editing the movie, and it's his birthday. So they end up having a cake for him. And the cake doesn't get finished, and it goes in a box, and it goes in the post-production house's fridge. The next day, he goes to work, and he's like, dude, I'm so excited to eat the leftover cake for my birthday. What he didn't count on was that Steven and his people were in that day. So Steven Seagal has his own editors that they're going to check the work of the actual editors, and they're going to protect Steven. They're going to make sure that things like the bald spot on the top of his head are like CGI'd in, or that they've shaved back his double neck that he's growing up with CGI. This is like early CGI for augmentation kind of thing. So he tells me this story that he's sitting there editing, and the whole morning, all he's thinking about is when he's going to go into the kitchen and get himself that cake that's left over from his birthday the night before. And he's like, okay, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to get that cake. He's so excited. He walks into the kitchen, and Steven Seagal, the fucking fridge is open, and Steven Seagal is on his knees like a dog. He's on his knees like a dog with a fork, shoveling the cake into his mouth from the box they put it in. Like he's just shoveling his birthday cake into his mouth.
John,
I'm so pissed because he drove to work wanting that cake.
I still think of the Steven Seagal script story. I think about that all the time.
Where Steven Seagal's late to lunch, and
he was reading the
anyway.
best script ever.
Yeah, so listeners have not heard this story. And Omar Calderon says, well, now you think about it, Grimace from McDonald's karate chopping people actually sounds like a good premise for a movie. Not going to knock it. So here's the story as I heard it. As guys having lunch with Steven Seagal, and Steven Seagal shows up 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, maybe even an hour late. And when he shows up, he's like, I got to apologize. I was reading the greatest script ever written. It's got drama, comedy, mystery and intrigue, action, romance. It literally is the best script I've ever read. Wow, that's quite an endorsement. Who wrote it? Me. Unless you're thinking about the story from the making of Behind the Scenes documentary, Matt.
There's two great, but that's the other great one.
Paul was going through his divorce, and this actually goes like secondhand. This is like someone I know, his buddy, I think was shooting a behind the scenes or doing an interview with Steven Seagal on the set of a movie while Steven was like either going through a divorce or something. But Steven's like trying to.
You want me to play the assistant in this so you can
Steven? Right? Steven's doing the interview and he's sitting there going, he's trying to be all zen, right? He's trying to be like all like namaste. And Steven Seagal is like sitting there going, well, the secret to life is just to be almost like a leaf on a pond, like really
Mr. Seagal.
Yeah, what is it?
I got your wife on the line.
Tell her I'll call her back. Okay.
Okay.
I'm in the middle of an interview. So as I was saying, you have to create a sense of calm within yourself, your mind, and your soul, and then nothing can trouble you. If all you,
Mr. Seagal,
what is it?
It's about the kids.
You tell that fucking bitch! I'll fucking call her back! I'll call her goddamn bro! As I was saying, zen and calm. It's like, what the fuck? You tell them alone! Daniel Campozano, Big Yanks in New York says, can we get an artist commission of Steven Seagal eating cake like a dog? I don't see why not. I don't. If there
I read The Secret, you put it out in the world and it'll happen.
You know what? Anything is possible. You guys thought that you'd never see my face hosting another Geekscape again. And here we are simulcasting Geekscape 540 on 420, giving you guys a live Geekscape episode across multiple platforms.
The three most undeserving people to be doing a show on 420.
Yeah. The straight edge kids and Derek, who sometimes we see him drink, right? Like you drink at Comic-Con sometimes. Not
if Amazon's fronting the bill, he'll be there to drink a little bit.
Yeah,
if Amazon's got drinks, I'm drinking.
Here's Comic-Con. Matt is always running the booth. I'm glad handing. Sometimes I'm at the booth. Sometimes I'm going around. But it's a pretty busy time. We never see Derek because he gets like Amazon like press emails that they have like free buffets and screenings, and he's there all the time. Like he eats for free. He gets a free ride the whole Comic-Con. I don't know how Derek's going to eat this summer.
I do work up an appetite putting up all those Comic-Con articles. So
hey, man, Jack Ryan goes down easier with some whiskey, I think.
What have you guys been watching? Let's talk about like what have you guys been watching?
Yeah, do you guys feel like your consumption has gone up very much?
Yes.
Oh
yeah.
I don't know about you guys. I'm still working.
I'm still working.
I work 40 hours.
I put together a site. Motherfucker, you just told us that you spent yesterday and today watching like all 22 episodes of a show.
Yeah. Yesterday was Sunday, John.
I know. I love working Sunday. I love it. Gotta get ready for my simulcast. What did you watch, Matt? It actually looks pretty good.
Toast of London. It's a BBC show written, directed, and starring Matt Berry of like the IT Crowd and What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, I just started watching the FX version of What We Do in the Shadows. He's great.
Yeah, so
that's where I recognize him from.
It's this
Welcome back.
It's a very weird show. He's like this narcissistic douchebag actor who also is trying to make it as a voice actor. But like the sense of the humor is, he's in the very beginning of one of the episodes, he's like trying to get into bed with this woman, and she's like, "Oh, just don't mind my ankle bracelet." And he's like, "Ankle bracelet?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "I thought those were only for people who murder." She goes, "Or attempt at murder." And he's like, "What?" And she's like, "I tried to kill my ex-boyfriend." He's like, "Really?" And she goes, No, he just slipped and fell on a knife and landed there. And it cuts to the carpet, and it's just a perfect bloody human body print, like in the middle of the carpet.
What's the name of the show, Matt?
Toast of London.
Okay. And it's on Netflix, right?
It's on Netflix. Apparently, it's also Canadian Netflix. Derek was very excited.
It is on Netflix Canada. Yeah. It is on Netflix Canada.
But right now, I've been watching in the background while I'm working. I put on the Great British Baking Show because it's just very soothing. It's just great background noise.
And Derek, you've been playing games. Like, what have you been playing?
I've been doing some watching as well. I just finished a series that So I just finished a series called Kingdom, which apparently no one's ever heard of, but it was an like the MMA series from 2014 to 2017. Audience Network, which apparently nobody has and doesn't exist in Canada. But I was listening to an interview with Paul Walter Hauser, who played Richard Jewell in the Clint Eastwood movie from last year, and he was talking about the show and how great of an experience it was being in the show, and it just sounded.
Oh, sorry, but not only that, he was on Mark Maron talking about how he worked on worked with the Five Guys over here in Studio City when he started getting the auditions for that show. And he was ready to like pack it up. He was just like struggling as an actor.
Yeah, and he was great in Kingdom. But anyway, I got really hooked on this show, and it's like just the character drama is amazing. It's such a mature show, and it deals with like you're crying like every 4 episodes. Like the content matter is so heavy at times, but I like finished it, and it had a phenomenal finale, even though it was like canceled. Yeah, so it was canceled after the 3rd season finale was written, and so the 3rd season finale had to act as a series finale, which kind of fit. But the series was it was probably one of the best open to close series that I've ever seen. And to the point where like the finale was so heavy hitting that the next day I'm in the shower thinking about the ending of the show and just crying like it's so, and I just felt like the biggest loser because I'm like, I watched this I watched this yesterday and I'm still thinking about it, it's quite the series, and it's even if you don't give a shit about mixed martial arts, which I watch UFC from time to time, but don't really care that much about it. It's just a phenomenal character drama.
And who's Frank Grillo's the main guy?
Frank Grillo's the main guy. Yeah. It's got Nick Jonas in it as well. He plays one of his sons. Jonathan Tucker, who went on to Westworld after that. Oh. Yeah. It's got like a really good cast. But yeah, very, very well done. It's on Crave TV for you Canadians, which you Americans will never have heard of. So
yeah. I watched Bloodshot with Vin Diesel.
How was that?
Anyway,
wait, so we're not going to get that cinematic universe that's supposed to be spawning?
The movie was tight as fuck. We talked about it a little bit 2 or 3 episodes ago with Ian. And maybe I'll have Ian on the show soon to talk about more comic book to movie trash. So Derek, you actually been watching this Quibi thing? The Quibi ads are out of control. There's Quibi ads everywhere. And I know what Quibi is. It's a small form content on your phone. You only watch it on your phone. But are you actually watching this Quibi thing? One person is watching it, dude.
Sorry, what was the last sentence you said?
I don't know one person who's watching the Quibi stuff.
Really?
I actually just heard about it through the co-host of my favorite episode of just raved about it. She rambled. She said there's like a cooking show that's hysterical on there.
So they have so many shows, and I don't know how I first heard about the service. I think just through press releases or something like that, but they officially launched on like April 6th. And right now, I think for the next few days, you can still get a free 90-day trial, which is the only reason I jumped on it. Is like, it sounds like it could be terrible, but it's free for 90 days. So you might as well check it out. One thing that's really frustrating about the service as of right now is it literally is only on your phone. They don't have an iPad app. You can't AirPlay it to your television. They said they're
design though.
What's that?
That's by design.
That's by design. They have said, but it's. I think it was built for a world where we're not stuck at home. Like it launched at the worst possible time to have a mobile only streaming service, because I'm sitting on my fucking couch with a 65-inch TV in front of me watching on my fucking cell phone. And it doesn't make any sense.
Hey man, want to watch this thing on a food stamp? No, I don't want to watch.
Yeah. So they have said on Twitter that they're actively working on like Chromecast support and AirPlay support. So that's cool. Content-wise, though, I've found a few shows that I've actually fallen into already. I don't care at all about the 10-minute, like 5 to 10-minute episodes. I wish that I could just watch a longer episode in one go. So I don't know if that really fits my style in terms of the
2 years. The creators can then recut the stuff and put it out on different.
Oh, really? Okay.
Form. Their contract. We've looked at their contract for projects, and you have exclusivity to Quibi for 2 years in short form, and then after 2 years. The only place you can still put short form versions of your content is on Quibi, but you can then go and, like, let's say it's a movie.
I see, yeah.
You can cut it into a movie and you can put it on theaters, you can put it on other platforms, whatever you want. Quibi doesn't care because they've already exhausted 2 years on their platform, and that's really what they want.
Well, and people have moved on from that
years,
show
you
already.
Get everything back, and you can put it wherever you want. So the Quibi deal is really attractive to creators. but you gotta get a star because the stars are kind of the things that are green.
Well, and a lot of the shows do seem to have pretty high caliber casts
Huge.
for this. Yeah, for this like cell phone app, basically. I haven't jumped into too many of the series, but I've really liked a few of them. There's one called 50 States of Fright, which is like these 2 to 3 part horror shorts, basically. Yeah. And so there's one for each state, basically, and so each one is 2 to 3 episodes, so about 10 to 20 minutes total. And they're like they're well done, but like campy as hell. Like the first one is about this like couple, and the wife's like arm gets taken off, and she like thinks she's ugly and blah blah blah, and so he like makes her a fake arm out of solid gold, and then she feels beautiful again, but then she dies, and they're really poor, and she has to be buried with the arm, and then he has to go and like
dig it out,
dig it up afterwards, and then she like comes back to like get the arm back, and so it's like super campy and cheesy, but there's what's that?
It sounds like a creep show.
There's so much fun. Like I got super like scary stories to tell in the dark vibes from that first episode type thing.
Sam Raimi is like the producer.
Yeah, and then the second episode's about this like giant ball of twine in Kansas, which was very confusing to me because based on the Weird Al song, I thought it was in Minnesota. But so I still need to like do a little bit of research into that. But I've watched 3 states worth at this point, and that show's been really, really cool. There's another one that's like a murder drama called Where the Streetlights Go On.
That looks great.
That has been fantastic. It's got Mark Duplass in it as like.
Hold on, guys. Yes?
You're late.
I'm doing a podcast! You tell that! Just chill out! Damn it, Heidi! I'm doing a podcast right now! My friends are watching! Anyway, guys, to be zen, you have to be almost like a leaf on the wind. You can get the hell out of the room now! Please! You can't just see I'm live streaming? God! Anyway,
turn in a little John Travolta at the end there.
Listen, one last thing I wanted to talk about real quick.
Yeah,
more like I will never use this view again. Did you see this view I just hit?
It's pretty terrible.
This is awful. This looks. Don't ever look at me this close again. Maybe this is something I'll look for, and I'll maybe talk about it in a later episode. But comic books might be coming back to stores. I ordered my comics over the phone. I called my comic book store, which is not open, but the owner's been going in and putting packages together for people to sell like over the phone. And I bought my comics up until they stopped publishing comics, which they stopped publishing comics and distributing them 2-3 weeks ago. And I ordered my books over the phone, and he put them in the mail, and he's overnighting them to me. But there might be light at the end of the tunnel. If you guys listen to Geekscape regularly, last episode we talked about how this might be the death of mom and pop comic book stores and comic book stores in print, period, because so many of these stores just exist on like a margin, and so much of their overhead is on the shelves, and they have to sell the books to make a profit, and they always have to bring in new books to keep things going. We'll see, but it sounds like Diamond, the only distributor for comics at the moment, is saying that we're going to start distributing books again May 17th. We'll see if like people come back to stores, or if stores even are lifted enough to like go back. But who knows? Maybe digital comics has taken over like a stranglehold of the industry, and print is like up a creek. But now DC is saying that they've added 2 North American distributors so they can beat Diamond to the punch and start shipping books by April 28th. They have 2 distributors, one for the west side of the U.S. and one for I guess Canada as well. But they have 2 distributors handling 2 sides of the country. But is this quick enough for the comic book industry, and as far as print goes, to not implode?
I mean, it feels just the way that you guys have been talking the last month. Like it feels like it's already imploded, and this is like them trying to kind of scrape back what they possibly can. And I think that it could work, because I think that for a lot of people, if they were cool reading digitally, they've probably moved on already. And the people that are still sticking with paper still want paper. So even if they missed a month, they're going to go right back to it type thing. I know like I don't read monthly stuff a lot anymore, but I know when I did, it was like I I loved the collection aspect of it, so I always bought the paper books, but I almost never read the paper books because I'd much rather have a whole library on my iPad when I'm on the train or wherever I'm going.
We will see. I got a couple of comments. I think Derek froze a little bit. That's Canadian cell service for you. But a couple comments real quick, and then we're going to wrap this up. Omar Calderon, you said I gave you a little John Travolta in my performance of Steven Seagal earlier. He says, I thought John was John Travolta Jr. back when I first saw him interviewing Kevin Smith during the Geekdrome days. Yeah, I could see the little, I don't know, maybe the John Travolta stuff, like later stage John Travolta. Heidi's now giving up and she's like, F you.
I'll just eat without you.
What?
I'll just eat without you.
What's that?
You can microwave your dinner.
Yeah, I can microwave your dinner. I go out there, there's some dude out there. It's all good.
No, Derek.
This was ruining my dreams.
You're ruining my dreams, damn it! Damn it, Heidi! You kill that bitch! We're just gonna do Steven Seagal impersonations the rest of the show. Jim Pugnarelli says that the three-way screen split that we're doing right now is a Napoleon ice cream nightmare. And Raymond Russell backs him up and says, "Too much vanilla here for that." It's 2 vanillas, a half vanilla, and a little bit of mocha going down here. A little Mexican vanilla, I think, is what I got. Matt could be strawberry, though that's the different one. Matt could be strawberry. His face is so pink. Matt, I want to know, when is the last time that you saw sunlight?
It
was
take
1980.
How dare you? I still take my 30-minute walk every day.
Good.
But he was going to say I still take my vitamin D supplement.
Yes.
You gotta stay healthy, which is why Derek is about to destroy his living room with the VR fitness app or whatever the hell he downloaded.
Hers is just like
it's
stepping
boxing,
outside.
Okay, you box and you got to punch the targets at the right time, but also the right type of punch. It's very aerobic.
Derek, can you live stream from that thing? I need to see this.
I'll see if I can set it up just for you.
Sure, you can do.
Yeah.
I have got to witness Derek doing this VR fitness crap. And Daniel Campozano said he suggests the name for me, Juan Travolta. That could be a little Juan Travolta.
A+.
What is it? What's the line? Give me any line from like Pulp Fiction or anything. Like, hey, what is it on Saturday Night Fever? Hey, Ma, the hair. What's the hair? What does he do? What do they call what's the Burger King? What's the
Royale with cheese?
Royale with cheese. I can't do John Travolta. I can barely impersonate Steven Seagal, and all he's doing is fucking yelling. So you are not going to get the thespianizing right here with me. But
quick question before you guys do wrap up.
My dinner's on the table.
We didn't get too into Comic-Con. I wanted to ask you guys, are you into the, you and Chris Gore a few days ago were talking about like WonderCon's doing the whole virtual convention and virtual panels. Are you guys into that at all? I feel like
not at all.
No, I feel like I part of the beauty of going there is to see that stuff in person. And if I wanted to watch like a live streaming panel or a panel from a convention, I could just fucking look it up on YouTube. Like at any time. It doesn't need to be live. It doesn't need to be at certain weekends.
I feel like what we're doing right now is giving me more of what I need out of a Comic-Con experience than any like virtual convention could give me.
Yeah.
Well, there's one thing that's missing, and I'm going to go ahead and find it right here. This one's
Jack Ryan?
No, this one's going to make you sad. Here we go, guys. From Brazil. You guys rock. Miss you all. That is Guy, who helps us with the booth every year at Comic-Con, and he is currently in Sao Paulo.
I hope his fingerlings collection is vast.
Yeah. Guy, we miss you, man. Like, no rush to get back to the States. We don't need your help at Comic-Con. So that makes it sad. And
he's probably safer over there at this point anyways.
Well, he's got Bolsonaro as president, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
It's kind of like having a Trump that speaks Portuguese. I don't mean to end the show on a downer, but I love you guys. What do you guys think of this live stream thing? That obviously goes out to the audience too. Like, what do you guys think?
Are you asking us or are you asking the audience?
You guys, asking the audience. Matt, was this the shit show that you thought it was going to be?
It was so much better than I anticipated it going.
Went pretty smooth. The only glitch that I saw was that I clicked into the live stream to check, and I don't think the theme song actually played.
I do not think the theme song played either.
Okay. Notes to self. Let me write that down.
But if that's the only issue,
I was sitting here at like a Geekscape logo with no audio until you popped up.
I'm taking notes. Feel free to leave a comment. I'm just going to write this down. Jonathan, you dumb fuck.
Somebody said have Derek on every week.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, it says
You
do
don't
this show
get
every
dinner
week.
today. You don't get dinner. You get lashes. You throw that. Oh, sorry. Maybe the theme. I'll add the theme song before I put it on MP3.
Yeah.
For the Geekscape listeners. So here we go. Jim Pelgrinelli. He says, I had a good time. He loves the Geekscape Live, and I
That's a
love
rave review. I'll take it.
I'll take Jim's review. Jim's great. AJ Santini says, this is the first time I ever listened to a Geekscape podcast. So if that's any indicator, they're a little hit and miss. It's been 13 years of this crap. Sometimes I wasn't feeling it, but I love doing this with you guys. This is so much fun. Raymond Russell says, more Cuppy. Now, Cuppy is actually a character from my daily Facebook. If you guys are friends with me on Facebook, I like to sit in my car at 11 o'clock every day during the pandemic and just kind of talk to you guys. And it started to turn into narrating the junk that is in the gutter outside my car, of which there's a Burger King cup that somebody abandoned there 3 weeks ago. And now there is a Starbucks cup on the curb above it. And I've got like this sort of uptown girl, downtown guy kind of thing going where there's a little love interest deal going down. So there's a little storyline. Elmar Calderon says, we need Ian on here too. I'm down. And Jim Pelgrinelli backs up Raymond and says, more Cuppy. Hey, I can bring in all the trash here. I've got some trash from Philadelphia and Vancouver right now on the show. And you guys are my friends, and I love you guys. My producer and good friend Noam says, I'd like to order a Famous Star with a medium Coke and crisp cut fries, please. I think he's talking about my little headset. What do you guys think? I got the headset.
Nice.
Not fancy yet. This isn't fancy yet, but we're working. We're adding things, and I think that it can only go up from here. And Kate says, someone should draw them a la Cuphead and Mugman from the Cuphead game, which is awesome. I love the Cuphead game. And she's, of course, talking to the Burger King Cup, which is a character that's not on this show. It's the show that I do for my Facebook.
Different show.
But
you're going to have as many shows as Matt before long.
But listen, what I do want to do is
just like 13 more to go.
I have reached out to people about coming on and doing this live streaming show. It is fun. I fucking love doing it. I love having the comment section and you guys on here. This is absolutely reinvigorated me during this pandemic where I'm sitting going, what's the point of doing some podcasts? Thanks, Chris Gore, for suggesting Yardstream. Thanks to Yardstream for
StreamYard.
StreamYard. Sorry about that. Sorry, StreamYard. What's this? We just been cut off? No. Thanks, StreamYard, for putting this technology together. It's amazing. And AJ Santini says, no, seriously, guys, great job tonight. Very entertaining. And Kate says, yeah, maybe these guys too. LOL. You guys in the comments, you guys are super entertaining. Anything you would like to add, buddy?
I mean, this was a blast. I think we should do more of it. And one of the other things I'm going to shout out real quick to do, if you're bored and you have Disney Plus, I've been watching all of the weird 70s live action movies that I never watched as a kid. And
anyway, Derek, is there anything that you wanted to add for the listeners that maybe you want them to see anything, or is there anything that maybe you could suggest to them?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, just thank you for having us on and having me on, and it's been I don't know, a little bit cathartic to see you guys and to talk to you guys, so it's been pretty wonderful. You can check out my shows as well. So we have the Let's Play Arcade podcast on the Geekscape network, and we've got Xbox Game Passengers on the Geekscape network as well. Lots of great video game talk. Both are on a little bit of a hiatus right now, but the back episodes are, all of those games mostly are still on Game Pass, and they're still super relevant. So more coming soon.
You're bringing that thing back, all right? You're bringing all your shows back, so I need stuff to listen to. Matt, you were going to say something that only made us sad. What was that?
No, that's Horror Movie Night. My favorite episode of One Hit Thunder, MFK Ultimate. Those are the things I've got going.
I love you guys so much. I love you, listeners. This has been awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for listening. Expect another couple Geekscapes down the pipe in the next couple days. I've got some set up, and you know what? It's a pandemic. I don't know what else I got to do. All right, so I'm just going to keep making Geekscapes and talking to people and reaching out and doing the remote Geekscape lives, because it's fun. And on the internet, who knows who's going to be my next guest? The only way you can do that is if you subscribe. So whether you're watching this on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook or Periscope, or you're listening to the classic MP3 feed, just like old school times. You know, I love having you guys on there. So share it with your friends. You can add more Geekscape friends if we keep sharing the thing, and we'll throw you guys another show here in another couple of days. How does that sound? You guys want to wait till next week? Why don't we just do this in another couple of days? This is fun, and I'm kind of addicted to making fun of my friends on the internet. I love you guys so much. Wave goodbye. Bye, Matt.
Bye.
Bye, Derek. And guys, thank you so much for joining us here on Geekscape, and expect another episode very soon. Share, subscribe, all that stuff you do in social media. Love you guys. This has been awesome. Good night. Thank you. Geekscape forever.